Let me tell you about the time that I accidentally became a hype man and had to say the unthinkable. Let's get into it. Now, it's the spring of 1999. It's a beautiful night out. I'm heading to a show. At the time, I'm producing an artist named Kano. We've been working together for about 5 years at this point. And we got shows regularly around the Baltimore area. But the show I'm headed to is at a pretty big venue, a nightclub called Twilight Zone. Anybody from the area probably knows it. Now, the show starts around 10 o'clock. I'm heading there a little bit early because I like to get there in case we get a sound check, because some of these places don't give you a sound check, which this place didn't, but we had done stuff there before and I had DJ'd there before, so we kind of knew the system and we knew what to expect. So I'm heading over there, windows down. It's about a 10-mile drive from my house. Got the windows down. It's just beautiful out. Perfect night. Getting ready to go to a show. Everything's working out good. Got the music. The show is set up very well. We know we're going to grab the crowd with the songs we were doing. Now, at the time, the artist Kano, he had just released a project. Now, Kano's brother, Mike Manson, always works as his hype man. Plus, I'm producing him as well. He's another artist coming up through Kano. Y'all know how it is, like that type of thing where you build the artist up through the artist that's already working. So I get to the venue, pull in the parking lot. I see my man out there, Kano. He's chilling. He's got 4 of his friends with him. Now, mind you, I'm the only white guy in the crew. Remember that. Now, the 4 friends that are with Kano, they're off-duty cops. At the time, we were just close with a few of the cops in Baltimore. These are dudes that go with us usually everywhere. They can make the show, they'll be there. Now, being off-duty cops, they got their pieces on them. Remember that. So I pull up, I've got the music blasting, windows down. I'm in my element. So I park the car, jump out, and I, just do an observation. I notice Mike Manson isn't there. So I'm thinking, okay, he's running late, whatever. I head over to the crew. Yo, what's up? What's up? Pound, 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 pound. Yo, where's Mike Manson at? Kano chimes in. Oh, he's working late. He's got to close the store up. He worked at a store in the mall nearby, and he had to close the store that night. Something, I don't know, something with the managers or whatever, but he had to close the store. The store closes at 9, but I guess counting the register, doing everything, closing the store up, that takes more time. But he knows he's going to make it. Plus, we know the show ain't going to start at 10 on the nose. Everybody knows hip-hop is not on time when it comes to that type of stuff, like shows. So while we're chilling out front, like I said, I'm in my element, I'm in a good mood. This is kind of early in the cell phone days, but Kano had a cell phone. His phone rings. It's Mike Manson. Yo, I ain't going to be able to make it. By the time I get there, the show will probably be over. Kano looks at me. Yo, Mike can't make it. You're the only one that knows the song. You have to be my hype man and do my ad-libs. Because a lot of the songs Kano did, the way he wrote them, the ad-libs, he couldn't, you know how it is, certain like punchlines or just the ending of like a bar or a verse, whatever. You ad-lib it or you say it on another track because, the words can't overlap. So yeah, I know every song inside and out because remember, I heard these songs literally hundreds of times by this point. So of course, nervousness sets in. I'm like, all right, let me run back to the car, listen to the songs because we got time. I'm gonna listen to the songs, take them in real quick. I know them, but I just need to hear them again. I go in the car, I pop in the tape because this is 99. As far as making your stuff, it wasn't as easy to get it on CD at the time. So I pop the tape in, I'm listening. It hits me. The first song he does, within the first few bars, the N-word. And it's an ad-lib. That guess who has to say it? Yes. So I look at Kano and I'm like, yo, I can't do this because of what's in it. I can't. I'm a white dude. There's no way I could get up there and say this in front of a crowd on a microphone. Kano's like, yo, you can do it. Don't worry about it, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to know it's not racist and this and that and the other. And I'm still fighting it. No, I can't do this. The couple times that it had to be said, it was said a lot in these like 4 songs we were doing. A lot. So the first one had a couple in it that, like I said, ended lines and stuff. So I had to say it because the way it was written, he couldn't say it. So I don't know what else to do. I got to do it. He's telling me you got to do it. I got to do it. So I have to do it. So all right, I start thinking a little different. I'm like getting confident. I don't know what type of confidence I'm getting up. What am I getting? Like I'm building up what, racial confidence? I don't know. But at this point, I'm just trying to make the best of the situation, I guess you could say. I had to do this or else the songs it just wouldn't make sense, a lot of the stuff. He needs a hype man for the show. So we start heading in the venue. Anybody my age members these type of clubs. They were in like, this club was in like a business park, but it was like in the back. and it was huge. It was a very big venue. And when you walked in, they just had like a black curtain hanging, and that's what you went through to get into the club. But you paid your entrance fee right there, and then you went in. Well, of course, we didn't have to pay to get in, but they still, just them being a club, and it being what it is, they still frisked everybody. I go in, they right away know me. I remember, hey, Kool, Breez, what's up? And Kano, what's up? We go right in, boom. Now remember, the 4 guys that's with us, they're cops. They're off duty though, but they still got their pew-pews on them. Now they start frisking the first guy that's with us, and all I hear is the bouncer yell, yo, he's packing, he's packing. And I'm like, oh man. So he's like, oh, I'm a cop. Yeah, here's my badge. And all 4 of them were like, we're cops, here's our badges. And yeah, it was now looking back at it, it's funny, but I mean, at the time it was like, oh man, this is just something else, because I was already like ready to break out in a cold sweat, because in about 20-30 minutes I'm gonna be on stage. Once I look through the curtain and see how many people there, oh my god, I'm gonna be on stage in front of, I don't know, it's a few hundred people there, and it's a hip-hop club. So I mean, it's majority black, and I gotta go in there and do the unthinkable. So we go in, and they don't have a green room or like a dressing room. It's like this loft up top, and it was more like a VIP area. So we went in, we up there drinking, and I'm just trying to act like nothing's wrong. I'm trying to not let Kano see that it's getting to me, because at this point I am scared. I'm flat out scared. You know what I mean? So the promoter of the club comes up, and he's like, you guys, we got your music, everything's straight, but we'll come let you know when to come down. So when we announce you can come right out. So like, all right. So we're still sitting there running through the songs, and I'm thinking of anything or any way that I can avoid doing what I have to do. And I mean, what would you do in this situation? So everybody's chilling. I'm going through the songs in my head, and boom, I'm just hitting N-bomb after N-bomb after N-bomb. And like I said, it's ad-libs and it's fill-ins, and it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna get beat up in here. Somebody might run up and literally tackle me on stage. I don't know what's about to happen. So the promoter comes and gets us, and we have about 5 minutes before we got to go on. Now, if I remember correctly, the stage was nice size. It was a good size. You could put a pretty good show on the stage, and you were pretty much up, I would say, maybe 4 feet off the ground, 5 feet off the ground. So it was a nice stage, because it was a big venue. Now, it didn't have like a backstage area, but it's still like it was the curtains, like I said, and they went up to the side of the stage, so you could go behind the curtain, and then when you got announced, you walked up the steps, and then you were visible on stage. So we're there waiting. I'm somewhere else. Kano looks at me like, yo, you ready? I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do this, but I'm ready. He's like, all right, man, remember, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If we ain't making a big deal out of it, nobody else gonna make a big deal out of it. All right, man, let's do it. So we get up on stage. I'm just like behind him, maybe 4 or 5 feet. He goes to the right of the stage, I go to the left, and we're just crisscross. You know how the hip-hop show is. I mean, just working the stage, working the crowd, whatever you can do. So, so in my head, it feels like I gotta say that word immediately. And I pretty much do, because within, say, 4 to 8 bars of the song, of his first verse, there it is. I mean, it's right there. I gotta say it. So boom, I say it, and I'm trying to see the crowd, but the lights, if you've ever been on stage, the way the lights shine, you can't see past like maybe what would be like the second row. You know what I mean? You can only see maybe 2 or 3 people deep. I'm not seeing much reaction, but then again, it wasn't many black people at the very front. There was a lot of white people at the front. So, but I'm not worried, because we had a guy that videotaped our shows, and this guy was videotaping from the loft, so he was getting everything. He was getting the show, he was getting the crowd, because we like to film the crowd and get the reaction, because if something worked, we know it worked by their reaction, so that helps the show out. So he focuses, I mean, you can see us, and he focuses on the crowd, so that later we'll be able to see what worked. We're doing good, you know what I mean? They're into it. Boom, I say it again. Boom again. Boom again. Boom again. Boom again. So the show pretty much winds down. We get a very decent response. They cheered for us. Everybody liked what we did. We head off stage. We go up to the loft again. We're chilling, slapping hands and all. We're not really messing with the crowd at all. We're not mingling, we're not doing nothing. We're just up top chilling by ourselves. It's just the six of us. So everybody that's with us says, man, you know, the show was great. You guys did great. You handled the crowd well. I'm looking like, can somebody please reassure me I'm not racist? Something. I look at Kano and I'm like, yo, was that I? And he looks at me like, yo, you nailed it. You did it. You nailed it. You did exactly what I needed you to do. I was like, okay. And exactly what that was, I wasn't sure yet. I got to see that tape. So I get the tape from dude before we even leave the club. I don't want to get mixed up. I don't want to get lost. I need that tape. I got to see the reactions of the crowd. So boom, I get the tape. I go right home. Pop the tape in. I'm watching. They announce this because he gets the whole show. He gets everything. He starts recording like as soon as we go down. So he even gets like when the music quiets down and they announce. You know, he gets everything. So boom, they announce us. Kano and DJ Kool Breez. Boom, we go out on stage. Well, no, it's not quite like that, but we get good response, you know, because people know us at this point. Because like I said, we had a project out. So we're going. I hear the first time I say it, and I was watching the way I was moving, everything like. If you could tell, I was nervous, and I seemed fine. I say it again. He starts focusing on the crowd. There's these two black dudes that every time I say it, they got this look on their face like, yo. And I'm just like, oh man, they think I'm racist or something. I felt horrible at that point. And he goes, and the video goes back to us, and we're doing really well. I mean, we're getting a nice response. And then he goes back again and focuses on the crowd, and I see a couple more people making faces from time to time, but nothing ever really came of it. I mean, it's a funny memory. I feel awful that it happened. I mean, I still bring it up from time to time when I see anybody from that, you know, from that time. If I see Kano, when I see Kano again, or just anybody, it's a funny story. And that was pretty much one of the worst nights, but one of the best nights as well. I've had in, you know, in local venues and performing and stuff. It was a very fun show, but the awkwardness of the whole thing was just, I still feel that awkwardness and that nervousness when I think about that show. It was so, I guess now you would say it's cringy, it's cringeworthy. It's just, whoa, you feel terrible. But yeah, that's the time that I accidentally became a hype man. It wasn't by choice, it was by necessity. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I got a lot more stories to tell, so I'm gonna have a lot more videos. Comment something you'd like me to talk about. I love when you guys communicate with me. So hit that like button, share this joint with a friend. I'm sure they'll find it amusing. Or they'll hate me and think I'm racist, I don't know. But share the video with a friend. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Salute.